Well, I think one of the things that continues to motivate me to come back to Glass Menagerie is a sense of what is current. We talked about it at the table the other day, that several had children for the first time, one's engaged, one's child has gone off to college. So much life has been lived between the last production and this. And I'm sure there's no way that that wouldn't change a point of view.
One of the aspects that I love about Tom Wingfield is the fact that he gets to directly address the audience. He's the only character that does. In fact, he starts out there. He walks right into the room and looks at everyone in the audience and says, "Come with us, enjoy this journey." I think it ups the level of desperation for Tom. It's that idea of getting it right this time, that idea of being able to have a chance at observing this, but being a part of it at the same time to maybe figure out what went wrong. One of the things I love about all the characters in this show is their ambition to find joy. You have to be able to accept the dark aspect of it to be able to go towards the light. And you have to acknowledge both of them at any given moment in a scene or in a play, because we do that in everyday life.
When I play someone like this, who some people might consider an antagonist or a bad guy, I always look for what I love about this person. And it's very easy for me to love Amanda Wingfield. I mean, she would be very difficult to live with, but I adore her because as a mother, I understand that drive to see your children do well. And Amanda has 2 adult children who are not doing well. She represents the kind of mother that will fight and do anything to fulfill her dreams for her children. One of my favorite scenes is when she and her son Tom are out on the fire escape landing looking at the moon. And she asks her son if he made a wish on the moon. And then her son asks her, "What did you wish?" And she said, "I wished for happiness and success for my 2 precious children." And she says, "I wish for that whenever there's a moon. And when there isn't a moon, I wish for it too."
I'm always trying to encourage my students to go see as much theater as they can, especially in Nashville. So to get to see actors of this caliber working with this kind of story and this kind of language it doesn't come around too often. What I like about him and his story is, and especially the more I get to know him, and the more I become familiar with who he is, I begin to realize and see that he's really no different than the other characters in the play, in the sense that he too lives in the past.
I think the fear in Laura is definitely relatable to a lot of people. I think as humans, we're definitely all hardwired for connection, but there's always this kind of underlying fear of being fully known and fully seen. And I think Laura lives in this world in her own head of, if I can just stay here, I'll be safe. If I can stay on the outskirts of society, I'll be safe. She has this alternate reality, and she's a very fragile girl. She doesn't have the emotional language to express herself. You know, there's all these external things happening that kind of defeat Laura in the end, but I think ultimately it's internal. We've been talking a lot about this whole idea of if you believe something long enough about yourself, it'll happen ultimately, this sort of self-fulfilling prophecy, if you will. And I think that kind of happened for Laura. She finally believes everything she's ever thought about herself.
Everybody should see The Glass Menagerie because I believe that there is an aspect and a love of family and trying to A, help people, and B, find the joy in life even when life tries to cripple you.
I think what I would hope that the audience would come and experience is a great story, a story where they can find themselves.
When you walk away from this show, I hope that you walk away with a feeling of everybody's journey is different. Every person's a gem. Every person has something beautiful about them, and they may go through life differently than you, and it may not be the way that you would choose for them. But I think seeing the beauty in every person for who they are.
I want everyone to see this show because I'm overwhelmed by the message of how we can even be imprisoned by love and care. It can happen. And do we see that with this family? And I love the way it breaks our heart, and we want to kind of stand up and yell, stop. We, as an audience, want to intervene and help this family. And that feeling and that something that is compelling us to step in and intervene is something that I hope people can walk away as their own action in their lives.
Everybody needs to come see this show because we're all broken. And it's fun to sit in the audience and watch other people try to work out their brokenness. And every once in a while, you'll see yourself up there, and you don't feel quite as lonely. That's one of the huge joys of coming to live theater.